Hi, and welcome to 2 cups of tea and a packet of biscuits with me, Tracy, and my co-host, Tanya.
Hi!
Today, we are going to talk about self-care in this episode. But before we dive into that, I was just going to say, Tanya, how are you and what have you been up to?
Way to put me on the spot. How am I? I'm okay. I think I do need some self-care. So the episode is perfect timing. I think we should normalise being a bit meh, to be honest, and that's how I feel. How are you doing?
Had a stressful morning.
Yes.
And still kind of recovering from that. So I think doing this podcast is going to help me just calm down, relax, because I do enjoy it. So that'll be my sort of self-care this morning.
Good. That's what we want. We want to be able to just be ourselves, and you guys kind of join us for that journey. So do you want me to just crack on with it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. So, what is self-care to you, Trace?
Self-care. It's giving myself time to reset. I find I get really overwhelmed by things like sounds, noises, people, events, and every now and again, sorry, I'm laughing because the dogs.
That noise is the dog.
Drinking water.
Yeah. I'm really scared because she keeps walking past and the camera's probably going, woo. Any dodginess, it's all Bailey, it's not us. Anyway, sorry. How is your self-care? What do you do? Tell me.
Yeah, so the things I do is shut myself in a room, first of all. I need quiet. I need to go into a tranquil space, a quiet space, which is usually my bedroom. And I close the door and just... sometimes I close my eyes. Sometimes I bring a cup of tea upstairs with me. And I just take, even if it's 5 minutes, just some quiet space to myself. And that's my kind of daily cure for stresses. That's my self-care every day. Yeah.
Yeah, and in terms of on a really bad day, is there anything specifically that you would do apart from... shutting yourself away, but is there anything that makes you feel really good?
I do sorry, the dog. If you can hear that, that's not me. It's the dog licking her lips. What's the question? If it's a really bad day, what do I do? Again, I think I like to get into bed with a cup of tea and maybe watch something on Disney Plus or Netflix or something, and just have my own time. And I'll put on a nice candle. I'll make sure the room's really lovely and peaceful. I put low lighting on as well. No harsh lights. That's at the moment, that's my go-to. Yeah. Cool. And how about you? What do you do when you for your self-care and when you're stressed? Or
so there's a few things that I've started doing. I suffered with burnout, so from burnout I kind of learned a little bit more of what self-care means to me. And in that I found really, I know people say exercise and stuff like that, but it actually does make me feel a bit better. I have to be in the right headspace to get into it. But yesterday I was having a very stressed out day trying to edit podcasts, and I did 2 runs, and I was like, that's not normal for me.
Yeah.
But on a really stressful day, I think some of the things I really like doing is putting a hair mask in, doing my morning and evening skincare routine, because you feel a bit better. Trying to drink lots of water, because I feel like that kind of wakens my mind a little bit sometimes when it feels a bit foggy and I can't get my head into gear. I've noticed if I drink water, it's kind of like that cold refreshness in me. On really bad days, it would be getting in my bed, putting on something on the TV something on Disney Plus or something, getting some bad food, because why not? Why do we need to be so harsh on ourselves? And sometimes it's not just about doing the healthy and clean thing, is it? Even though people say, oh, that's good self-care. when you're having a really crap day, sometimes all you want is that chocolate bicky, a nice warm tea, your warm blanket, which I've invested in a heated blanket thanks to my friend, and I sound like such a granny, but I love it. Like watching something rubbish on TV or something, you know, really good on TV, tends to make me feel better, I feel.
No, that sounds really good. And I go in for comfort food, chocolate, or something sweet or savoury, anything.
Just food.
Yeah. And as you were talking, I remember that I try and do yoga as much as I can, and that was a huge thing for me back when I had a really stressful job, and it became my daily practice. Unfortunately, at the moment, my life is so hectic that it's not happening, but yeah, yoga is a huge thing for me, and in terms of self-care, like body, mind, soul, it does it for everything. So yeah.
Actually, I forgot to mention is meditation, because like if I have I feel like I've been going through quite an up and down like place in my mind with things, and as our listeners know, or hopefully by the point this episode comes out, I have a job, but at the point of recording I still don't. So it's that I'm getting like really bad interview fatigue. It's like you interview so much, and it's kind of like dating fatigue. I go through that as well, where you're asking the same questions, you're getting the same answers, you don't know if you're doing good or bad, you don't know outcomes, and your mind, everything just takes a toll then, because you just get tired. And I think tiredness affects everything you do in life. You could have 8 hours sleep and it's still like, if you've got a busy day, it's not enough. And that's the same for parents, it's the same for non-parents, it's the same for everyone, right? And I actually found doing a bit of meditation started to help, especially when I was suffering with burnout. That was actually in any stressful period of time of my life. I've kind of learned to just like put a timer on, and I started with 1 minute timers and I increased it every day. At the moment I'm up to 6 minutes, and it just is that little bit of a way of reconnecting with inside. Prior to doing it, I didn't think it would work for me, but what I realised is my body, when I get stressed, kind of goes into panic mode. Like I put on weight, I like get very stiff, so my body aches at the end of the day. And what I found with meditation is it's like it's getting the air to all the places that it needs to go. Sometimes I actually come out of it feeling a little bit lightheaded, but I've kind of grown to love that feeling a little bit, because I'm actually really relaxed.
Maybe that's all the weight off your shoulder literally like lifted off, and you feel that lightness. As you were talking, it made me think of something I do every morning, because I used to try and put in a routine of self-care into my day. And it's all the best intentions, and you start off really well and then it all fizzles out. But something I've kept is when I wake up in the morning, before I even get out, like get out of bed or take the duvet cover off, I will just lie there really still and take some deep breaths, 10 long deep breaths. And for me, in a way, that's my meditation. I know it's not like the normal sitting up, crushing your legs and maybe doing a mudra sort of meditation, but it's somewhat like that, and it helps me start the day just by clearing my head, because in the morning sometimes I wake up and I've got a million things that I need to do and think about. But before I get up and do those things, I make sure that I take those 10 breaths for myself. And it doesn't always work. On my third breath, I might be thinking about work or what I'm going to make the boys for dinner tonight. But I try. And I think it is just those little steps towards self-care every day. If you can do that, like you said, you started with just a minute and now you're up to 5-6 minutes. Yeah. I think that's the way to do it, and not put pressure on yourself to do it as well, because then that's a stress.
Yeah. Actually, you know those like guided meditations? I was listening to one. This is when I first was trying it. I used to do the guided ones when it was free. It's not free anymore, unfortunately. But I actually do it, I notice, when I'm in the car, or so not like closing your eye. I don't believe that you need to close your eyes when you're fully doing it, because if you're having that minor panic about something, even like through interviews, I realise I get really sweaty hands before, and it's like my heart's racing and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to be really rubbish in this interview, they're going to hate me. And you think all these crazy thoughts, right, prior to someone coming up on the screen, because at the moment all of mine have been virtual, but I've actually started doing like just a few deep breaths before I even like get on the call, as well as like, I really hate driving, and one of my friends is like this as well. We hate driving through country roads, you know, because it's so narrow. If another car's coming, you don't know if you're gonna have to stop, you're gonna have to pull over. I hate those things. And I actually sometimes, even if it's like, you know, raining on the motorway, and I've left yours because it takes me about an hour to get home, that's just because of the traffic, right, on the motorway. But when it's raining, and you know I hate driving in the rain, I actually like just take a few breaths while I'm driving, and then I focus on the music, and then I kind of forget that, oh, I'm in this horrendous rain and whatnot. Or I put a podcast on. I don't put ours on, but I'm be a bit weird.
Well, Tan, actually is weird. I was about to say.
It's like, what kind of big head have I got listening to my own podcast?
Not going to lie, I tried to watch the latest one that you uploaded on YouTube. Jeez. I looked at my face for a few seconds, I was like, no, off.
It's so hard, right? Because I've edited like 3 in a row. I've actually... I start putting the volume all the way down so I can't hear it, but I can just see our mouse moving. I'm like, yeah, they'll cut there. Oh yeah, they'll split here. I'm just like, I can't do it. It's awful. I'm forcing myself to listen to us on Spotify at the moment because I'm like, we should listen, and if there's things we need to improve and vice versa. But, oh, I can't watch it. I've never watched the full episode, even though I edit it. I'm like, no.
So I put myself through that torture. And I'm scarred for life, Tan. Like, as I'm talking now, I'm like, oh, that's what I'm going to look like. Oh, yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. Anyways.
Yeah, anyway, I don't listen to myself in the car. I listen to other podcasts, and I feel like that kind of brings me a little bit more present into everything's going to be okay. But yeah, that's, I guess, my little 2 pence on it.
Cool. So let's talk about some of these myths about self-care, because there's a lot of, not propaganda, what do you call it, marketing, advertising about self-care, and this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do, and there's some myths about it, and I thought it would be nice to talk about that, and you know, what we go through when we know, I don't know what I mean.
I guess the things you hear, because I don't know about you, but I've been told some ridiculous things about looking after myself. I had a manager at one point in my career. She was female, and I was going through a really rough time, and she turned around to me and said, put a bit of makeup on, that'll make you feel better.
Wow. No.
Yeah. It's never left me that when she said that to me in the office in front of people, and I was just like, wow. So I think let's talk about things like that, things that people really like say to you that you're like, you need to, one, be a bit kinder, but secondly, it's also that thing of that's not self-care. Putting a bit of makeup on your face is not self-care. So yeah, have you had anyone say anything crazy, or just like that you thought in the moment was just really unhelpful?
No, not like that. That's awful. Yeah. I mean, I think if we just talk about makeup, sometimes, like, I'm not a makeup user. I would put a little bit of some sort of serum, like tinted serum, like I'm wearing now. Usually I do eyeliner and mascara, a little bit on my lips, but I'm not into it all the time. Sorry, I just touched the mic, and I thought you might get angry at me because I thought in editing it might make a noise, so I got scared. So okay, everyone, I'm really scared at the moment and I'm keeping really quiet. I'm not umming and erring when you're talking usually I'm like, so I'm keeping it all in.
Yes, because when I try to edit, all I hear is Tracy's and I'm like,
it's because I'm an active listener.
I thought you were about to say you're an actor.
Well, let's not talk about that yet.
So you're talking about makeup?
Yeah.
That you're not an active wearer?
I'm not an active wearer. I'm an active listener, but not an active wearer. However, for me, makeup is self-care because I hardly do it. It's me like doing something fun. I'm not trying to impress anyone or impress myself. But sometimes it makes me look a little bit more awake or a little bit more, I don't know, put together, let's say, than I usually am. So for me, makeup can be self-care. But in that situation, I think that was not a compassionate, considerate thing to say.
Yeah.
That must have hurt or...
It's never left me. And I think that's the thing. I don't know about you, but I always feel like people feel like they can say whatever they want to me and that I'll take it. I've had many comments about my looks, or if I've put on weight, or if I've lost weight. And I'm like, I do have a complex about it because I grew up in a house where that was always commented on as well. I don't think my mum or my family, like my brother, ever really meant it in a malicious way. But when you're growing up and then when you're an adult, it becomes a complex. So then when someone talks about like, put some makeup on your face, see, I do actively wear makeup. Actually, I only wear it when I'm going out the house or I'm filming. And even then, it's very rare that I put a lot on because I'm not really, I just put a bit of concealer and a bit of foundation and that's it. Unless I'm going out. But I think like in the society we are, there are a lot of people who just say things and they don't think about the consequences it can have on someone else. And that's why I think when it comes to self-care as well, like the things like maybe not just to me but to everyone, it's like, oh, go to a spa and get a massage. Of course that is self-care, but saying it to someone doesn't make it self-care. I think if you as a person know what makes you feel good, so if you're having an anxious time or a low time and someone says, oh, go and do this or go shopping, but you don't know my financial situation, I would love to go shopping right now, that would make me 100% make me feel better. I want to go to HomeSense, I'm desperate, but I don't have the funds to do that right now like I used to. So when I think there's that whole thing that self-care, people throw around that word very easily, and I guess the point I want to make is like, self-care is whatever you make it to be. It's not about what someone tells you it to be. It's whatever makes you feel better, and it doesn't have to be flashy. It doesn't have to mean a lot of money. It could just be you go down to Tesco, you get some microwave meal that makes you feel better, or a frozen pizza, you get crisps that are on offer, you get chocolate that's on offer, you get your juice, your alcohol, you drink, whatever it is that makes you feel good. You come home, you put your heated blanket on and you watch crap on TV. That should be self-care. I think we're in this society where we make it such a big thing.
Yeah, so I agree with this whole, not just people telling you, but advertisers saying, yeah, have a spa day, have a girl spa day, use this sleeping mask, this will help you, use this. And they're selling a lot of products. Obviously, that's their business. But for people who are vulnerable, maybe they will think, oh, I need that in my life to be happy for my self-care. But actually, you're right. It doesn't need to cost money. It can be the simple everyday things. It could even be saying gratitudes as well, which I think is which I do daily. And I used to put pressure on myself thinking, because I had never been to a spa till about a couple of years ago, I think. And a lot of people I knew were going all the time. And I'm thinking, oh, but I should be doing this. I'm not getting my self-care. I'm not getting massaged and, having facials and stuff like this. And then I felt down about it. Yeah. And I realized actually, so I have been to a spa since. and it's amazing, but it's bloody expensive. It's not something I can do a lot.
Yeah.
And I actually had this conversation with my son. I said, we were talking about something else, about studies and exams. And I was talking about how you can bring an experience that you've had outside back home in a different way, but to get the same sort of experience. So what I do to get like a little massage every day, I've got these really cheap Amazon slippers with the little bumpy bits on. So when I walk on them, it's almost like acupressure, and it sort of massages my feet because I'm on my feet for work the whole day. So that's one thing I do. There's probably a lot of other things I do, but that's just one example. And it doesn't, and it's like I can have that feeling every day, and it costs me a few pounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that pressure is not actually helpful.
I also think self-care isn't even sometimes about like, going and buying things or doing like the facials, like even at home stuff, right? Sometimes self-care for me is actually going and spending time with a friend. Just having a laugh. You're having a really rubbish day, go to one of my friends' houses, or I call someone and I talk about random stuff with all my friends. You and me talk about random stuff. All my friends I talk about random stuff with, right? But it makes me feel better, and I'm lucky to have that group around me, like my little village. But sometimes even that, or even, if I can't do that, I go to the cinema. Do you know that, by myself, because I enjoy it, and I don't have to share my snacks. I don't have to like get up. Sometimes you want to wait till the credits finish because there's an extra bit of the film. And if you're with someone else, they're like, oh no, you can watch that anytime. And I'm like, no, I actually want to watch it. You don't have to get up when someone else gets up. And it's so lovely. It's just such a nice little outing for myself. But yeah, I don't even think sometimes self-care even is about like the actual skincare, hair, food, whatever, right? Sometimes it's just picking up a phone or being able to go and meet a friend and, just have a cup of tea together.
I agree. That's something that makes me feel really good, seeing a friend, talking to them. Yeah, that's important. And the other thing, I mentioned before about gratitudes. So I've made it a routine where every time I brush my teeth, I'll say my gratitudes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so like 2 minutes of gratitudes, and I'll be just first thing in the morning. So I've done my 10 mindful breaths, or try to. Then I brush my teeth and do my gratitudes. And that really sets the day off in a nice tone because I'm positive and thinking about all the lovely things I've got in my life, which could just be as simple as my bed. I could be really grateful for my bed.
Yeah.
Or I could be really grateful for my socks to keep my feet warm, or whatever. Or it could be something huge like your family or your loved ones. But that's a really nice way to feel good about yourself and care about yourself and set your day to a positive start.
Yeah. So to kind of like summarize, I feel like we had a lot of learnings in that hopefully our listeners actually take away and maybe try. And if you would like, send us an email or comment on one of our posts or whatever you would like on some of the stuff you've done, because that would be amazing to hear. But I guess the really key ones is that, one, it doesn't cost money. Anything is possible. Like even taking a walk is just, it's free. Secondly is making that time for yourself. I think it's really important to make time for yourself, even if it is that 5 minutes, just to, like you said, do your gratitudes while brushing your teeth. And I think it's just about caring and loving for yourself. So hopefully 2025, that is what we are all doing.
Can you believe it? 2025.
Another year. Yay!
And just to add to what you said about if in the comments, if you guys start adding things, experiences that you've had or ways that you do your own self-care, because we could learn from you as well. And what I'd like us to do is create a little community, a really safe place where everyone feels valued and able to put their comments in, feeling in a safe place, where we can learn from each other and create that compassionate space for each other.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, Trace. So, what's next?
Are we going to play a game?
We are. You're introducing it though.
Am I?
Yeah. You are. So I'll let you take over.
Okay. Okay, so this game is called Spill the Tea on Self-Care. And what we're going to do is we've got a bowl full of prompts and we're going to pull one out and see if we've ever done it and just, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go first because I'm scared.
Okay. I mean, not a lot to be scared of. Right. Have I got one? Yes, I have. Okay. Booking a private jet to an island for mental health reasons. Would I try it? Is it too unrealistic? Or have I ever done it? Well, I've never done it. I'd love to have a private jet. Would I try it? If I had the money, I 100% would try it. Yeah. Because who wouldn't? Is it unrealistic? Unfortunately, it is.
Okay.
Your turn.
All right. It's not so scary as I thought it'd be. I don't know why I thought that.
It's not you writing them out.
True. What the hell? Sorry. What the hell? Buying a pet alpaca to reduce stress.
Oh, I'd love that.
Who does that?
No, you might.
Is that a thing?
I bought a cat to reduce stress. If I could have had an alpaca, I would.
Okay, so have I ever done it? I think it's clear that I haven't.
Here's one. Bailey's an alpaca.
Would I ever try it? A pet alpaca? Wouldn't I have to live on the mountains?
No.
Where do alpacas live?
Aren't alpacas the ones with the long necks?
Yeah.
Yeah, people have them like that. Mrs. Hinch has one in 3 in her garden.
God. So no, I wouldn't try it. Is it unrealistic? Yes, it is. So no, thank you.
I mean, it would be the dream, I'm not going to lie. Okay. Right, next one. Oh, it's upside down. Building a pillow fort and hiding in it for 1 hour. I mean, I haven't done it. Is it unrealistic? No. Would I like to do it? Hell yeah! If I could, I just don't know how. It's like a whole construction going on in my head of how, because I'd need sticks to hold it up so that I could bury myself underneath.
So as an only child growing up in the 80s, that's what I would do on an almost daily basis. I can give you some tips, den building tips. Yeah. Okay, my turn. Hey. If you can hear that heavy breathing again, that's not me, it's Bailey. She's cuddling. Yeah. Taking a day off social media. Social media can get quite intense and addictive. Sorry, Bailey's just like trying to get coffee.
She's like, I need a mental health day. Yeah. She's like, you're no good.
No. Yes, would I try it? Yes. Have I done it before? Yes. Is it realistic? Yes. I think it's a good thing for mental health and self-care to come off your phone. They can become such a almost burden in your life that you don't realise it. And taking that break can be quite a freeing experience.
Yeah, it is hard, isn't it? Like, it is very addictive. I'm not going to lie, I doom scroll at night time. It's become like my bedtime routine, and that's the worst thing because I shouldn't have the blue light and all of that. But sometimes I don't know, it's taking that day out. I mean, we're now in that business, so it's crazy. It's a crazy world, but it's really unrealistic, and you compare your life to other people, and it's not fun. But yeah. Well, there's only one. I was going to say, should we leave it because we've done 2 each?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to close the episode. So firstly, I wanted to say thank you to everyone for listening to our episode. I don't even know what episode number we're on, but we're on some episode.
I think it's number 9.
Wow, we've done 9 episodes. That's crazy. But that is all thanks to you guys. So we just wanted to say thank you for all the support. Please do go onto all our platforms. We are streaming on Spotify, we're streaming on Apple, we're streaming on Amazon for all your podcasts. So do like, subscribe, follow, comment, because without those, we don't know how much longer we'll carry on. It is all dependent on you guys. We are also on all our socials, which is TikTok, Instagram. That's it, isn't it?
All of them.
All of them. So please follow us on those platforms as well and like our videos. We have cute pet videos as well now, showing our little brains behind everything. And we are also on YouTube. So if you do want to watch us, because we don't want to watch us, but if you do, please do go on, subscribe to our channel. We're going to be putting some new little short videos out there, some extra special content on there as well, so we'd really appreciate if you can like and subscribe and comment and everything over there as well. But yeah, what else was I going to say? Oh, we also have an email address. So if you do have any questions, if you can email us at 2cupsofteapodcast@gmail.com. One of us will eventually check it. I haven't. Maybe Tracy will. So if you have emailed and we just have ignored you, I'm very sorry in advance. And if we do start getting questions, we will obviously bring them onto the podcast and answer them for you. So on that note, thank you, and you've been listening to 2 Cups of Tea and a Packet of Biscuits.
Bye.